لا حول العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، سيما مولانا بقية الله في الأرضين، روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات محمد. Well, first of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It is an honor to be here and see and meet with the Mu'mineen of a new town. And it's really an honor for me. And Alhamdulillah, it's a blessings. Well, in a couple of minutes, I'll be taking your time for discuss few issues from perspective of Sayyid al-Shuhada Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And as I pointed in last my couple of lectures here, that when when an intellectual does something, there has to be some kind of idea behind it, some philosophy behind it. Intellectual human beings never do things without a purpose. There is a purpose always. And when Imam Hussein does start such a big movement, and what was the main purpose? So if you go and look into the words of Imam Hussein, what he has spoken from his hometown to Karbala, there's a very beautiful book. It's called as Madinata Karbala in Farsi. And it's been, I think this book has been translated in English as well. Uh, compiled by a scholar called uh, Sayyid Sadiq al-Najmi, something like that, if I'm correct. It's a very good book. So he compiled all those khutabat of Amir Sayyid al-Shuhada, what he has given from his beginning of his movement till the last day, Ashura. It's a very good book, by the way. If you have it in home, you have to just read it. And we always have to try by ourselves to hunt, to learn what was the purpose of movement of Imam Abdullah al-Hussein, basically. There's a lot of things that have been said by Sayyid al-Shuhada, but in one of his uh, statements, what he made, he says, وَبَذَلَ مُهْجَتَهُ فِيكَ. He, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, he sacrificed his blood of his heart, basically. He sacrificed himself, his spirit, his soul, his entire existence. For what? In the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجِهَالَةِ. To wake people up from the ignorance. So if you go the opposite way in this sentence, ignorance is a kind of put you in a sleep position. People kind of become drunk. People kind of become purposeless. If a person is sitting at home and doing nothing, not studying anything, not teaching anything, not making any good effort, so he's kind of dull, he's kind of dead, he's kind of useless. And it could happen just because of ignorance as well. Because if you don't have awakeness, you don't have purpose of your life, you might fall in this state, and that could be very harmful. Societies at that time, they were really falling in the trap of tyrants. Muawiyah and then Yazid, they have been nullified. They have been, nullified just for do not take any action. What the tyrants are doing, what the government is doing, just don't do anything. Don't say anything. Just live your life. Just live your life. And as I discussed yesterday, there's lots of scholars, and there's a scholar, his name is, if I'm correct, Muhammad Aqad. He's from Misr, and he wrote a book where he says, I introduced with Imam Hussein much before the time of Karbala. He just passed away 30, 40 years ago, I guess. He says, I was introduced to Imam Hussein much before his movement, maybe 30, 35 years before that time. How? He said, when I studied about Imam Hussein, there was a three reasons he was not going to do bay'at of Yazid, never. Because if he does this bay'ah, if he put his hand under the hand of Yazid, he is going to say like, I'm kind of approving his actions. He would never do that. He would give a signal for future, for come in future tyrants, they can come and they can do what they want to do. He said, no, Imam Hussein will never approve that. And one more point which he made. So basically, Imam Hussein Salamullah alayhi, he made a movement against the tyranny, proving that you always have right to ask, why you doing this facade, this corruption, this crime? Why are you killing all those innocents? Why you are not supporting, not only supporting Muslim, you're supporting Zalimin, oppressors. So what is the point? And what is the point of Islam? What is the point of Quran then? If this was the goal, why should Rasulullah stand up and suffer for all those long years? And if you're doing things which was belong to pre-Islamic era, Dawran al-Jahiliyyah, and you started those things again. So if Ahlul Bayt will sit down, no, people will be drunk into their ignorance. And then we say in Ziyarat Arba'in, بذل مهجته فيك ليستنقذ عبادك من الجهالة, to wake up us from Jahala. We are not allowed to live in the school of Ahlul Bayt, and we say, we don't care. We don't care. We live in the school of Ahlul Bayt and we just sleep. We have no responsibility against what's happening. No, we have responsibility. When we see the dhulm is happening, we have to take a stand. We have to talk with the government. We have to create some movements. We have to talk with the Madlumin, what's your problem, oppressors, and somehow we have to be in support of Madlum. And somehow we have to be in against of oppressors. We're not allowed to be in this. If we keep quiet, and we say, none of my business, it's not my problem. Quran says many times, if you're just saying it's none of my business or keep quiet, Quran will consider you among the oppressors. And this has been happening throughout the history. And this always happened. This always happened. When tyrants started doing their zulm, oppression, tyrannies, people say, none of my business. And they kept quiet. And then problem happens. So tyrannies, oppressors with the silence of majorities, the outcome is a group of people become oppressors, madlumin. So we have to choose the side. We cannot be, neutral. There's no neutral side. People of Haqq always, at least somehow we have to show that we are to the side of oppressors, to the side of Haqq. And the least we can do, we have to talk. The least we can do, we have to talk. The max is up to you. You can go to the most extent you can sacrifice your life, as Abdullah Salamullah did. That's a different thing. It's up to you. You have to watch your future, your line, your family, your conditions, your situation. That's up to you. But the least you have to talk about the dhulm. If something is happening against truth. Imam Hussain said, I took this. Imam said, I am going to wake people from ignorance. I don't let them sleep and be in ignorance. Jihala. Let's discuss about the jihala. What is that? Well, that's how we translate in our languages, Urdu, Farsi, Arabic. Means if you're not studied in school, then you're kind of jahil. No, not in Quranic terminology, it's not that jahil. Jahil is not something else. For understanding what is jihala, it's a very simple. Just download the app of Quran, word the letter jihala or jahil, J-H-L-A, and list all those verses of Quran, 20, 30, 25, 45, whatever it is, and keep reading it. Then at the end, you will come to a good conclusion. Okay, this is the meaning of jahl in Quranic terminology. It's a very, very simple thing. Just Google it. There's a website called, if I don't forgot the name, very, very nice Quranic site run by Iran, if I'm correct, tanzil.net, I guess. It's a very good website. Just put the word jahala, or if you have uh, the etymology book, like some kind of dictionaries, Quranic dictionaries, just search the word jahala and see all the words, how this word has been used in Quran. And what is jahala? So Imam Hussein is trying to wake up us from the state of jahala. He doesn't like us to be in the state of jahl or jahala. So what is jahl? In couple of ayat, I give you a few examples here. Like an example, this ayah is from Surah Baqarah, ayah number 67. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ, when Janab Musa told his nation, قومه, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً, you have to kill a female cow. What they replied, قَالُوا أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا, O Musa, are you making fun of us? Are you making fun of us? Attention is here. They know who is Musa, and they have seen all his powers, all his taqwa, all his being religious, all his, religiosity. He is a religious person. They know everything about Musa. While they know everything, now they're asking from Musa, "Oh Musa, are you making fun of us?" What Janab Musa replied to them, "Qala a'udhu billah, I seek shelter in God. Why should I make fun of you? A prophet is not going to do such a thing. I'm not going to do like that. An akuna min al jahilin. I seek shelter of Allah from being of those who are jahil." In a one word, what is the meaning of jail here in this ayah? What is the meaning of jail? Musa says, I am not going to make fun of you. And I seek shelter of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from being among those who are jahilin, those who make fun of each other, those who not talk real seriously. Basically, they are jahilin. Not in that term as we translate it, like Indian people, Pakistani people, Irani people, Afghani people, Lebanese, Iraqi. No. We have to go and see what Quran says about jahilin. A prophet is not going to make fun of anyone. Those who are still talking to each other and making fun of each other. Those who don't care about each other, about the reputation of each other, about the respect of each other. They are making fun of each other. The Prophet Musa said, no, God told me. If God has told me something and I'm offering you that offer, that qurbani, that sacrifice, do it. There's nothing about fun. Why should I make you fun, you people? Why should I put you in astray? No, there's a purpose in it. If people do not trust in God, if people does not or do not trust in the messenger of God, then that means they are in jihala. When we oppose messengers of God, asking nonsense questions, and while they're serious, and while they're guiding us, while they're helping us, and this has happened to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam many, many times. So this is a one meaning of jahiliyyah. Imam Hussein wanted us to wake up from this state of jahiliyyah. Next ayah from Quran. This is from Surah Yusuf. Qala Rabbi, O my Lord, as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'unani ilayh. Oh Allah, Zulaykha, Janab Yusuf was young. He was handsome. He was beautiful. He says, Oh Allah, O my Lord, Qala ya Rabbi, O my Lord, Qala Rabbi as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya. From what? Mimma yad'unani ilayh. Oh Allah, oh my Lord, I like jail more than being among these world of shahwat and desires. What Zulaykha wants from us and her team, because in the continuation ayah it says, wa illa tasrif anni kaydahunna. Kaydahunna one means pretty, plenty of women. So Zulaykha and her team, what were their desires? They said, we are all young, we are all beautiful. If someone else was on the place of Janaba Yusuf, what would he say? Oh Allah, just stay away, just keep Zulaykha away from me, but let me be in this palace. Let me be in this wealth. Let me be in this facility. I enjoy food, I enjoyed living, I enjoyed being around these people. No, it's all part of shahawat. Yusuf said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, please take me away from Zulaykha and her team, kaydahunna, and their trap of these ladies. And I better be in jail, that's much better for me. In jail, no luxuries at all. So let me be with myself. Between me and you, there's no luxuries, oh my God. Oh my creator, there's no luxury between you and me. I want to be just with you. I'm tired of these luxuries. He was Aziz Misr. He was a kind of prime minister, leader, president, something like that. He said, no, I don't want all these things. I don't want Zulaykha and her beauty and her team. Either I don't want anything from this facility. Jail is better for me than being with them. Rabbi, as-sijnu ahabbu ilayya. I love more jail than mimma yad'unani ilay, than what they're asking me. They want from me the sin, adultery, whatever, the luxurious life. I don't want anything. And then the point is here, in and la come together, become illa. Wa illa tasrif anni kaydahunna, oh Allah, if you do not remove their trap from me, asbu ilayhinna, I might go to them. I might turn to them. I might join to them. We have to ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this way. Oh Allah, I am trying to put myself away from shaitan. I want to keep myself away. Oh Allah, but it is very hard on me. I can't do that alone by myself unless you help me. If Prophet Yusuf is saying that as a ma'soom, we definitely have to have said, I cannot protect myself from shaitan, from Iblis. Oh Allah, help me in this job, in this status, in this name, in this brand, in this family, in this town, in the city. There's a lot of traps. If you read this hadith is called Hadith Abdullah ibn Jundab, one of the great Sahabi of Imam Sadiq. Once he came to Imam Sadiq and Imam told him a detailed hadith. There's a kind of 1 or 2 page hadith. It's a beautiful hadith. Everybody has to have it in mobile. You all have to have it in your mobile always and keep reading it every week, every day, every month. Hadith Abdullah ibn Jundab. Remind me, I will give you the link and you can have this hadith. In this hadith, the very first sentence, Imam Jafar Salamu alayhi says to his Sahabi, Abdullah ibn Jundab, this dunya, this entire world is trap of Iblis. Be careful. As I always say, Mu'min always lives in the state of high alert. Just like you're sitting in the battlefield. If I'm sitting in a gun, in a bunker, in a battlefield, and someone calls me, Sheikh Ammar, I'm not going to say, yes, I'm here. Right? As you say, yeah, I'm here, boom, and you're gone. No. You ask, oh, who are you? What's your name? And if he says my name, then boom. So you have to be very careful in this world. You have to be very careful. Mu'min always live in the state of high alert. The moment you forget memory of Allah, dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's the place shaitan is going to hit you. Boom. We don't know how many times we have been hit by Iblis. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. There's no choice. Inna dunya haba ila shaitan. And that's a very beautiful sentence from Imam Sadiq Salam in this Hadith Abdullah ibn Jundab. This entire world, we think sometimes, no, I'm safe. You know, if I go to cabaret, if I go to disco, if I go to this dance party, if I go to their party, then I might be in trap of shaitan. No, my brother, no, my sister. Since the day we came to this world, we are always in the trap. This entire world is a trap of shaitan. So watch your step, watch your ears, watch your eyes, watch your language, watch everything. Even though watch your thoughts. We have to watch Janabe Isa ibn Maryam salamullah alayhi. One day his disciples asked from Janabe Isa ibn Maryam, what is your guidance to us? He said, Janabe Isa said to his people, Janabe Musa told you, don't do sin. I say, don't even think about sin. He said, don't do things. I said, even though don't think. It's a very popular example. When you used to study, we used to study in Iran. Our teachers like Aqaid, Irfan, and lots of people say it's a very common example. If you just imagine about a lemon, and you're squeezing the lemon in your mouth. There's a no lemon, there's a no squeeze, there's a no lemon water in your mouth, but you all feel water in your mouth, right? Urafa, awliya, ulama, mujtahideen, scholars, mu'minin all know that. Even though thinking of sin has effect like that. It has some kind of very mild, very low level effect, but there is effect. Isa ibn Maryam says, even though don't think about sin, don't think. When we fall in shahwat, in desires, we go astray. Imam said, no, I'm here. I'm doing this qiyam to wake you people up from jihala. And this is another meaning of jihala. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. When Jazakumullah. When Janabi Yusuf became king and his brother came to visit him, Janabi Yusuf realized them. They're his brothers, but they did not realize him at the first. They later realized him. So at the very beginning meeting, he asked from his brothers, Janabi Yusuf, what he asked? قال هل علمتم ما فعلتم بيوسف? Did you guys ever realize what you have done to your brother, Yusuf? وأخيه, I think it was Benjamin, and his brother, what you have done to them? إذ أنتم جاهلون, because you were jahil. You were in the jahl. So when we are in jahl, we do dhulm, even though on our close ones. And this happens. And this happens. So we have to protect ourselves from not doing dhulm, not on others, even to the close ones. Not on the close ones, even to others. No, we should protect ourselves from doing dhulm. When we do dhulm, when we go against someone without any dalil, any reason, any authority, what they did to Janabi Yusuf, out of jealous, they throw him in the well. And they said to the father, he's been eaten by some animals. Gone. It's finished. Why they did like that? Just because of jealous. Janabi Yusuf asked them, did you guys realize what you have done to your brother and his Janabi Yusuf, and Yusuf, your brother, and the other brother? Is antum jahilun, because you were ignorant. What you did, it was the outcome of your ignorance. So stay away. One of the alamat of jahl, of ignorance, is when we act nonsense, when we act based upon hasad, jealous, when we act without any reason. Moment, if I'm correct, this sentence is famous from Sheikh Buali Sina. He says, Nahnu abna'ud dalil. Shia, we are the children of reasons. Everything you do in your life, you have to have a reason for that. Someone asked one day, how happened you reached to this high level of ma'rifah or irfan, or those ilmi darajat or maqamat? How could you reach this maqamat? What he replied, Allama Tabatabai replied, everything I did in my life, prior to doing that, I prepared an answer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is hard sometimes. It is not easy. It is hard. But somehow we have to become habitual to these things. Everything I did in my life. Prior to doing that, I prepare an answer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I'm going to be asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why you did this? Why you stood up there? Why you sit down there? Why you eat that? Why you wear that? Why you talk to these people? Why you did that? Why? All those why. But when we prepare a logical answer, a reasonable answer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there we can judge, is this my action, is this my movement is correct or not? But if I don't consider, I don't think about that, I said, okay, let's do it, let's do it, keep doing it. At the end, inshallah, we'll be thinking, okay. No, it's not going to be okay, my brother and sister. Make sure what you are doing is correct. Think about the end. Think about the end. When you think about the end, then you realize, oh no, there's a lot of problems. That's why Islam says, always do mashwarah, mushawarah, always get advice. Every single action, get the advice of best people, always. Our actions has to be a flag. Our deeds, our actions, our career, our life, our everything has to be a flag in favor of Quran, in favor of Rasul, in favor of Ahlul Bayt. These people in America, these white, Hispanic, black, this and that, Chinese, Japanese, all other nations, they are not going to read Quran unless they see you living Quran. When they see Quran in our actions, in our akhlaq, in our attitude, in our response, in our responsibilities, when they see these things, then they're going, okay, this brother is very good and he says he's a Muslim and his book is Quran, so let's see what is the book. It's very nature. I explained this story many times in my lectures. There was an old lady in Germany and she was dying out of sickness by herself, living alone in her apartment. And she had a neighbor, and that lady was from Morocco. And they were, by the way, they were not the friends. But after a week or 10 days, the Moroccan lady realized that I don't see the German old lady. So she knocked the door. She came in the apartment. She said, this German lady is lying down on a corner. She fell down and she's kind of fainted. She's hungry. She's 1 week. There's nobody caring about her. And she's about to die if she leave her there. She jumped back to home. She brought some hot water, some soup, some food. She started taking care of her. After a few days, when she woke up, this German lady, she sat down. She said, how come you did this? How you did all these things to me? We were not friends. She said, my book says like that. I have to be like that. This is my book. This is Quranic teachings. And when they finished talking, the Muslim Moroccan lady said, should I bring a copy of Quran for you? She said, no, I don't need Quran. And she was kind of amazed, like, how come? And then the German lady replied to her, because I saw Quran in your attitude. I don't need Quran anymore. I saw living Quran in your actions. People are never going to be behind Allah and Rasul and Ahlul Bayt and Islam and Islamic values, nothing. That's why Islam says, be good with your family, with your friends, especially with your neighbors. You have to be very good with your neighbors. If John and Paul and Marcus and Luke, in the day of Qiyamah, they stand up in front of Ahlul Bayt and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah is going to ask them, okay, John, why did you not become a Muslim? And if he says, Ammar was my neighbor. I never saw Islam in his attitude. I'm gone there. If this neighbor says, this Muslim was living right next door to me, and I never felt Islam is in actions, in his akhlaq, in his attitude, in the way of, the way he used to live and thought and talk and whatever, then I am in problem. All of us, as a Muslim, we are in problem. We are going to be in big problem. So we have to be a flag to Ahlul Bayt. As I mentioned yesterday, last night, someone asked from Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam and said, O son of Rasulullah, how should we have to be? Imam said, when people see you and point you out with their finger saying that, look at him, how beautiful is this man. and he is the follower of Imam Jafar Sadiq, then you are a Shia, then you are a Muslim, then you are a follower of the Quran. So we have to be very careful. This life is very short, just 50, 60 years, not more than this. If you're lucky, you live 80, 90, okay, good. Ayatollah Safi lived 104 years, Alhamdulillah, Mubarak to him. But now most of us are not going to live like him. 60, 70 years and we're gone. But there's a qabr, and Qiyamah is not so close. It's much, much, much far away from us. We might lie down, we might live and survive in barzakh for millions of years. We don't know. Qiyamah is not close. The day of resurrection is not very close. It's much far away from us. And we have to travel millions of years in barzakh. So we have to prepare from this, out of this 60, 70 years for those millions of years. We need light, we need support, we need, being with awliya. Death is real. Death is real. Even though they try to hide in Western world, they try to hide death. Every day people are dying in hospitals, but you never see janaza. You never see mayyat. I remember 20 years ago in America, 20 years ago when I used to come early for tabligh in 2000 and 2001, at those days, you could see sometimes the cars are going carrying a dead body. But these days, things are changing very fast. You don't see any more death. They don't talk anymore about death. Death is a fantasy in American movies, that's it. It's not a fantasy, it's a real thing. Grandmothers are gone, grandpa is gone, grandma is gone, uncle, auntie is gone. And one day we are all going to die. Maybe I die tonight, I die tomorrow night, and maybe next week night or next month or next year, I don't know. And then we have a long journey. Barzakh is not a small thing. You have to work. Read more about barzakh in Quran. Find a hadith from Ahlul Bayt about barzakh. What is living in barzakh? And we are going to face lots of things in barzakh. And the very first thing we are going to face in barzakh is reactions of our deeds. If we have been doing good in this world, we are going to face things good. If we had not done good things in this life, we are going to suffer with the problems. And it's not worth to ruin millions of years just because of couple of this years, this worldly life. It's not worth, basically. Imam Hussein came to us to make us realize that what is the purpose of living. Don't serve tyrants. Don't serve your desires. Control the desires, manage the desires, it's okay. Live a good life, have a good life, enjoy the life, no problem. But do not be in support of ma'asiyah, guna, sin. Ahlul Bayt have a lot of, Imam, to summarize these words, I have picked some of ahadith, but time is running very short. I don't know I'm going to make it or not. All those beautiful ahadith, but just one hadith. Prior to the zuhur of Sahib al-Zaman, the conditions of this world is going to change very quick. And if you watch the political world, what's happening, in Middle East, in Europe, Eastern Europe, Americas, if you watch the politics, you can feel like this situation is not going to last more than 10, 15 years. And this all situation is not going to end up in a good end. No, it's not. It's not. Believe me, it's not. The situation of this world is not going to end up in a nice way. No, it's not. So we are very close to the Dhuhur of Sahib al-Zaman. We are very close, basically. So what are the signs of those times? There's a hadith from Rasulullah where he says, Ya'ti fi akhir al-zaman unasun min ummati. A group of people will show up in my nation, among the Muslimin. Ya'tun al-masajid yaq'aduna fiha halaqan dhikrhum ad-dunya wa hubbuhum ad-dunya. People will gather in the centers, masajid and religious premises, will gather there. But who are these people? While they sit in the groups, The dhikr of these people is going to be dunya. They just think about dunya, just talk about dunya and worldly affairs. وَحُبُّهُمُ الدُّنْيَا, because they're in love with this worldly life. We have to improve ourselves, our spirits, our soul, our ma'rifah, our knowledge. We're not just in this world for eat more biryani or better brands, wearing better cars. No, we are not for these things in this world. There's much more than this in this life. There's much more than this. Rasulullah says the time will come and people will sit down in the premises, religious premises, masajid, centers, these places, and talk about the dunya and worldly affairs, because they're in love with the dunya. They just care about the worldly life. And the point is here, Rasulullah said, La tujalisuhum. Don't be friend with them. Don't sit with them. When such a people are living there, sitting there, talking there, don't be part of those groups. Stay away from them. And the main part is here. Then, فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ بِهِمْ حَاجَةٌ. Allah doesn't need. Well, my question is here. Does Allah need you? Does Allah in need of anyone? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for his essence, for his zat, never need anything from you. Never need. But he has a project, and that project is he has created us and he wants something from us and he wants to take us somewhere. Well, we trust in the words of prophets and Prophet Muhammad. This is not proven scientifically, definitely not. If you don't trust in Quran, do something else what you want to do. But if you trust in Quran, if you trust in Rasul, if you trust in Ali ibn Abi Talib, then you have to consider their words very seriously. So my words based upon, if we trust in them, then we have to consider these words very seriously. And then Allah doesn't need them. So how come Allah need us? Does Allah need us? No. But in the project, what he has from Janab Adam, 124,000 Nabi until the day today. Until today, he is running his project, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he need hands. Why we call Ali ibn Abi Talib Yadullah, Ainullah, Lisanullah. Ahlul Bayt, they were Yadullah, they were Ainullah, they were Lisanullah. People followed them like Malik Ashtar, like Salman Farsi, like Abu Zar, like Miqdad, like Muhammad ibn Muslim, like Zurara. They all become like their Ahlul Bayt. Lisanullah, Ainullah, Yadullah. And that's the goal. We all have to become hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah wants us to be in touch with him. He wants us to be in touch with him. If we're not in touch with him, we are in trouble. I'm not going to take too much long time because we are very close to Salat time. I think 2-3 minutes just left. And I will give the member to scholars. They want to some rosa here, inshallah. And then I will see you tomorrow, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.